The content of this program is to provide nutritional education only. This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. The FDA requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. As an empowered individual, you have options available. We are honored to have one of the founding fathers of epigenetics here to guide us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. The content of this program is to provide nutritional education. All right, let's go ahead and open up the doors. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As the waiting room, the doors have been open. So if you're here live with us or want to be here live with us, come join us at dailywithDocZoom.com. And for those of you who have already joined us here, welcome, welcome, welcome. So we're going to make sure that everybody gets in here. And as we're doing that and letting people move over, getting the Facebook stream going, the Rumble stream, the YouTube stream, we want to make sure that you are following Critical Health News on YouTube and Rumble and Critical Health on Facebook. We're a little slow in getting the news one on there, but hey, we are making an impact in being a resource that allows people to take their health into their own hands and make educated decisions on what is going to be a good fit for them. Because folks, face it, does it make sense to put chemicals in your body to control the way the body works or doesn't work? Are you chemical deficient? I know I'm not, and it wasn't working for me. I was getting sicker and sicker until I found and heard the message that we were going to be going deeper into today. And that is how your body was designed and requires 90 essential nutrients. Essential meaning our body does not make them on its own. We have to be intentional in making sure that it's getting put into our bodies. And I love the fact that the company that we have chosen to be the solution provider has done the formulations and put those formulations together that meet the needs of the body based on the research. And this is decades of research. It's not an overnight thing, folks. Decades of research going even deeper into just research, but pathology. I mean, Dr. Wallach, the doctor who we host here on this program, has 3 postdoctorates in pathology. And I had the question asked, what specific are those 3 doctorates of pathology in different areas? So I'm hoping he'll be able to answer that. I know he'll be able to answer that. I know he'll be able to answer that as we get farther into the program. But folks, we're nutrient deficient. We're not chemical deficient. You keep poisoning your body. How do you expect the body to be able to function properly and go from just barely surviving to thriving? And that is the whole goal of our mission, is to present to people a way that they can thrive again or stay thriving. For those who have not experienced poor health conditions like many of us have, it's a great feeling, folks, to be able to feel good and look forward to the future without having to dread the pain of it. My name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of this program, Daily with Doc, it is my honor and privilege to be able to bring this information to you. Now, I can't do this on my own. I have a team of co-hosts that are here also to make sure that you are getting information in a safe place. So if you're here live with us, make sure that you have that chat on. We are going to be putting information in that chat that helps you find the information that Dr. Wallach is speaking of. Also gives you spelling so that you can follow along, because I hope you're ready to listen fast, because Dr. Wallach wants to get so much information in, and I know I talk a little bit fast, but it's still too slow for him. And we want you to be able to just be a sponge, listen. And for those that are visual learners that need to see it in black and white print, it's there also. So if you're on YouTube, if you're on Rumble, you're on Facebook, come on over to dailywithdoczoom.com Monday through Friday from 12 p.m. Pacific time to 12:50 p.m. Pacific time, and join us in our live broadcasts. And I want to welcome my mama. I love you, Mama. Glad you made it on today. And all of you who are here with us on Daily with Doc. This program is being sponsored by dailywithdoczoom.com, where we have all of the replays from our shows in the past, including our previously named broadcasts that are going back, coming up on 3 years, which I'm super excited with. We're just a few months short of 3 years, and we have those replays there. We also have replays from the programming that I do with pharmacist Ben Fuchs each and every month. So those replays are there as well, in regards to what we can do on our own, and not just do this, and this, but we go deeper into why you want to do it. And when you have that understanding of how things are working in your body for the good or the bad, it makes it so much easier to make those changes that you need, that your body needs to make, so that you can start thriving again. Now, the content of this program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. It is for educational information only. And the FDA requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. But folks, we are empowered individuals. And as empowered individuals, we want to make sure that you have access to the options that are available. As I mentioned, there's solutions to a food source that no longer contains the nutrients that our bodies need. We have to be intentional. And to guide us in this journey, we are honored to have one of the founding fathers of the science of epigenetics, which is one of my favorite sciences, because it has proven that the transmission of genetic diseases is incorrect. Folks, you're going to hear it a couple times on this program. There are no genetic diseases. So if you've been told that you have a genetic disease, we are here to bring hope in helping guide you along the way, and what you can do to help yourself nutritionally. So without further ado, I present to you Dr. Joel Wallach, who has a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture. He started as a doctor of veterinary medicine. He has 3 postdoctorates in pathology and has become a naturopathic physician so that he has that authority to be able to make recommendations to us 2-legged creatures, not just the 4, not just the, well, Dr. Wallach, I mean, you even go into like reptiles with no legs in your research and in your experience. So welcome, welcome, welcome as we present the world to you, Dr. Wallach.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca. Thank you for the kind introduction, and thank you for the troops and the crew that's here with us today. And they're very, very, what should I say, dependable. Gosh, I'm going to leave starting at the very beginning to people reading my book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, and epigenetics and Hell's Kitchen and that kind of stuff. There you go, because it kind of tells the story. But there's a book, I don't know if you have this one available to you there. It's up on my shelf. I should have gotten it off. It's called Rhino Express. Rhino Express was a popular book written on my first postdoctoral fellowship. There you go. Very good. Okay. And let's see here. When I was working my way through veterinary school, the pathology department, because I didn't have enough money to pay for tuition, all that kind of stuff. And I'm working in the pathology department. And I worked at the St. Louis Zoo with Marlon Perkins and his TV show. Okay. And I've been doing that for 10, 12 years. And so I had a lot of experience with a big variety of animals. And let's see, here was December of let's see here now. It was December 1963, a year before I graduated veterinary school. Okay. And this farmer brought, let's see here, 50 dead sheep and dumped them on me. All the professors were gone. It was December of 1963. I graduated in 1964. So it was December of 1963. This farmer brought 50 dead lambs. They were supposed to be sheared right after Christmas, which would be a couple of weeks, and sent to slaughter right after the new year. And I said, my gosh, what happened? He says, well, I fed them all yesterday. And he said, yesterday I had 500 live sheep that were 6 months old, getting ready to be, have their wool clipped and so forth coming up. And this morning, 50 of them, no, 500 were dead this morning. So I brought you 50, 500 were dead this morning. They're all perfectly normal yesterday. I fed them. They're running around happy. Everything was perfect. No indications anything was wrong. But this morning, all 500 were dead. And when I opened them up, they all had black blood, not dark red, but black. And I said, are you surrounded by other farms? Oh, yeah. What other animals? No animals. It was all just growing hay and corn and stuff like that. I said, uh-oh. Do you know what fertilizer they used? Well, yeah, they use nitrate fertilizers because they get paid on tonnage. So that the nitrate fertilizer gives them more tonnage. Okay. I need samples of water. So he called and had his family run a couple of gallons of water to us. And we ran it, and it just heavy in nitrate. So those lambs are drinking nitrate contaminated water for 6 months. And the temperature had dropped that night. Okay. They've been running in the 50s, which is not abnormal, which is normal for central Missouri in the wintertime. But that night that they all died, it dropped down to 16. They all had low functioning thyroid glands. They all died of hypothermia because the nitrates had killed their thyroid glands over that 6 months. They were drinking the water with a nitrate fertilizer in it. And I got it written up and submitted for publication, gave copies to Marlon Perkins. And he said, okay, Wallach, he said, I need you to go to South Africa. He said, all the white rhino are dying there. He said, I've got a grant. That's my first postdoctoral fellowship. I got a grant to find out what's going on here. Why are all these white rhino dying? They're down to 350 of them. We need to catch as many as we can and put them in wild animal parks and zoos so they don't all die out. And so a year after I graduated veterinary school, I did go to South Africa. Natal province, Umfalosi and Shishlui game reserves. I caught 200 of the 350 white rhino, blood samples, biopsies, all this kind of stuff, and interviewed farmers all around the area. Well, it turns out that the farmers had taken up the land that the rhino had lived in for thousands and thousands, maybe even millions of years, and pushed them out. And they were not getting the nutrients that they were supposed to be getting because the farmers took the land with the most nutrients in it. Okay. And I got all that written up and so forth. And Perkins, again, got a continuation of the grant. And so I was there for 2 years. I was prepared to stay there forever. Okay. Because it was a wonderful thing saving the white rhino and figuring out why they were dying, because they're being pushed out of their original habitat. And it's one of those things where wrote papers, scientific papers, all published. But then my paper on those 500 sheep that died, I submitted that for publication before I left, got published, and Perkins took that along with Barry Commoner, who is the head of the Department of Biology at Washington University in St. Louis, and they got I think it's like $21 million grant, okay, from NIH, National Institutes of Health. And there were 3 departments in that grant. The zoo, where I was working, the biology department, where Barry Commoner was the head of the department, and the Barnes Hospital, which was the hospital associated with the medical school there at Washington University. And I'm doing these autopsies on all these animals from all over the world. There's freezing them and shipping them to us, and drying them and shipping them to us, and sending us samples and so forth. And make a long story short, it turns out, because I think I had like 25 major publications, several books out of the deal, and this was like crazy, okay? And did all that information, and after 10 years, the grant ended, and so I applied for and got a job as a pathologist at the Yerkes Primate Center at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia, for the space monkeys. And of course, with all my papers and everything, it was an easy one. They said, okay, well, Wallach, you're the guy. You got to come here and be a pathologist in the project. And I wasn't there for 3 months. And I found a monkey that had cystic fibrosis, supposed to be a genetic birth defect in humans. And to make a long story short, I figured out the cause, prevention, and cure for the cystic fibrosis, presented it in a paper. I was going to give a presentation. So I, put the paper together and you do what you do. You present it to the committee, and they fired me because they said, well, you must be sniffing glue. You're saying this is not a genetic disease. This is the classic genetic birth defect in humans. I said, no, sir, this is a simple nutritional deficiency. You tell me how many monkeys you want with cystic fibrosis, I'll make them for you in 3 months. And they fired me. And that's when I went back to school and became a naturopathic physician. And so the grant I was on at the Yerkes Primate Center, okay, was also a postdoctoral fellowship. And then I got a grant, okay, and this was actually paid for by Dr. Milan. She and her parents sold a lot of property to get the money to pay Qishan University in Qishan province, Heilongjiang province, in Qishan University in China. We went there, and I did 1,700 autopsies on kids dying of Qishan disease, which is essentially cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy, and all that kind of stuff. And to make a long story short, figured out the cause and the relationship. It was published in English, in 2 Chinese languages, okay? And these are published in 2 Chinese languages and English, okay? And so it's which I say, these were my postdoctoral fellowships. And it's one of those things where these grants were paying for this stuff. And of course, one of the grants came from Dr. Milan and her family. They sold a lot of property to give to Qishan University to, again, allow me to do all those autopsies. They're published. This is published. Unimpeachable stuff, okay? All nutritional deficiencies, not genetic. And this allowed me to move forward and come back and I taught nutrition at the Naturopathic College in Portland, Oregon, and also took the courses and got some credit for my veterinary courses, and graduated in 1982 as a naturopathic doctor. I'm still licensed as a naturopathic doctor in Oregon, along with several other states. And it's one of those things where we have, I think it's now 22 best-selling books based on all this research and so forth. But just think about it. We got rid of the problems. Oh, I should tell you also, the beauty of it is for the white rhino, remember in let's see here, 1963, there was only 350 left. Last year, by actual count now, there's 21,000. 21,000, okay? Because we moved them back into the area where the soil had the nutrients in it to support life and fertility and all that kind of stuff in the white rhino. And they're flourishing because they're back in their original territories. We're very proud of that. And then I think I have over 100 publications when we're talking about scientific articles and this and the other. 2011, I got the Klaus Schwartz Award for finding the cause, prevention, and cure of cystic fibrosis. Then, of course, 2015, I also got the let's see here, the Lifetime Achievement Award from the United Nations. Okay, very proud of that. And it's just kind of an endless process of finding out things. And of course, did find out again the cause, prevention, and cure of cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy. We worked with Jerry Lewis. He was very inspiring. Jerry Lewis was very inspiring to me because he was just tireless. He was going to find the cause, prevention, and cure of muscular dystrophy. And they were all chasing genetics and so forth. And I proved that muscular dystrophy was just a simple nutritional deficiency. And nobody would pay attention to that, of course. And so with my attorney, Jonathan Emord, he and I, we sued the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, in federal court at our cost, over $1 million. We didn't get a grant for that one. We had to round up the money. And we sued the FDA so we could put these nutrients into the baby formulas, which doctors were preventing because they kept saying all these minerals are toxic, they'll kill the babies. And so we got these nutrients put into the baby formulas. Within 90 days, there were no more new cases of cystic fibrosis. There were no more new cases of muscular dystrophy. They fired Jerry Lewis. They terminated Jerry Lewis, put a gag order on him so he could not say anything. That was in 2011. 2011, they fired Jerry Lewis, put a gag order on him. And also, they shut down his telethon, which was going to be the next day after they fired him. And he had raised $2.6 billion for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. And they fired Jerry Lewis and put a gag order on him. He died several years later, but he knew before he died that we had found, based on his energy, chasing it, we found the cause, prevention, and cure of muscular dystrophy. So you don't hear about muscular dystrophy anymore. And you don't hear about sudden death syndrome, which is also caused by nutritional deficiencies in the baby formulas. Doctors were saying the mothers were laying on the babies and suffocating them. They were saying that for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. So many mothers committed suicide. So many mothers were put in jail. So many mothers were disowned by their families because doctors were saying they were laying on the babies and suffocating them, and they were just dying of the same hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart disease that these young athletes die from today in the teens and 20s. But they were dying at an early age because they weren't getting these nutrients in their baby formulas. So I think that's my introduction about all these various awards that we were chasing. And of course, we do have, let's see here.
Which one are you looking for?
Epigenetics.
Oh,
Okay.
that's right here.
Okay, epigenetics. And show the back of epigenetics. It's got a
I
picture of
held
me.
it up while you were talking, but you didn't see it.
Okay, I didn't see it. Yeah, the Klaus Schwartz Award. Okay. And of course, Gerhard Schrauzer, he was what they say, he was a classic, the existential guy when it came to chemistry. And he awarded me, along with his whole crew, awarded me the Klaus Schwartz Award for discovering the cause, prevention, and cure of cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy, and sudden death syndrome. And so very, very proud of that. And then, of course, we had another one where that's on the back of the book.
Primates.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's a primate book. There it is again, that same picture, same award being given. And so, yeah, there's not too many people that get that award. Okay. I think they give it like one every couple of years or something like that. And I think I was like the sixth or seventh one who got that award. It's really a very highly esteemed award. It's kind of like the Nobel Prize of Biochemistry, so I was very proud of that. Okay, so I'm not trying to brag, but you asked me to give you proof of all this stuff. And of course, I don't talk enough about that book, Rhino Express, Saving a Whole Species of Animals. Now there's 21,000. Back then there was only 350. So I'm very, very proud of that project. And because we moved them back into their original territory to where they had the nutrients from the volcanoes constantly renewing the soil. But when the farmers took over that property, and just by their presence there, they pushed the white rhino out of their original territory, which was catastrophic.
Well, I love the fact, Dr. Wallach, that part of that process that you went through, part of that research was conservation and
Yes.
restoring the areas where the rhinos could be, so that they had the nutrients in the soil to sustain life. And we don't have to move out of our areas now in order to reclaim our own lives and be able to sustain and maintain healthy living. So Dr. Wallach, with the company, that's right, the story is in the Wallach Revolution. You can find Dr. Wallach's books at drjwallach.com, and Wallach is spelled WALLACH, so drjwallach.com. You can find all of Dr. Wallach's publications, and you'll also be able to find a digital link to that 2011 Klaus Schwartz Award, so you can see it with your own eyes and read through all of the information that's presented in there that just gives the background information as to why Dr. Wallach was selected for that award, which is fantastic, Dr. Wallach. You've done a lot. I think that's just like the tip of the iceberg of what you should be recognized for. And we have a whole bunch of people on YouTube watching. We've got a room here on Zoom. We have people on Facebook and Rumble. I'm getting reports from my team here letting me know that as of right now, we're just the live audience that we have with us, Dr. Wallach, is over 70 people. So that is fantastic. And I know that programs that we did last week are already over 900 views just in one platform. So folks, we provide this information for you to be able to use as a resource to share with those around you. You can share the link, copy the link, send it to them in text message, an email, Facebook Messenger. Just if you've got a website, we want to make sure that you have what is needed to provide information to your audience. And if you are a longevity associate with us, fantastic. We can make sure that you get the acknowledgement for sharing that information, because folks, where we are a resource, if somebody shared this program with you, make sure that you get back with them. If it was on a website, use the contact us on whatever website it is that you saw this information and say, hey, I liked this video. I want some more information. I want to get on a program. Whatever you're interested in is make sure that you get back with them, including if you want to be part of this crusade, you are welcome. We welcome people with like minds who have a passion for people and a passion to make sure that humankind thrives for many, many years, because Dr. Wallach's goal is to have the average age 120 years. It says it in the Bible, man shall live 120 years. So we're here to help make that happen. I know it's Dr. Wallach's thoughts and prayers each and every day to be used to carry out what has been written in the good book. So with that, Dr. Wallach, again, folks, if you're here live with us and you'd like to ask Dr. Wallach a question, please go ahead and raise your hand, just as we have some hands raised now, and we're going to go to questions. We also have questions in the comments out on the different platforms. We're going to get to as many as we possibly can, Dr. Wallach.
Okay, do
You
I
wanna-
have 5 more minutes?
2 more minutes.
2 more minutes. Okay, well, quickly, I want to talk about, again, the record in the industrialized world, 1997, a French woman by the name of Jean Calment, she died at 122 years, 164 days. And of course, the Hunzas, their life expectancy in the Himalayan mountains is, because of all the minerals they get from the volcanoes, is 120, and many live to be 130, 140. And then I also want to talk about quickly high blood pressure in America. We spend $131 billion a year just to treat high blood pressure, which is very simple nutritional deficiency. And we have a program for that. We can get rid of high blood pressure very quickly, usually in days or weeks. And then also we have kidney dialysis. I have people who've been on kidney dialysis, say for 10 years, they haven't urinated in 10 years. They're in dialysis 6 days a week. They have high blood pressure and so forth. We get them on our program, and in 2 weeks' time, they're urinating again after 10 years of not urinating. So they drop down the dialysis to 3 days a week. And then in 2 more weeks, they're totally off of dialysis after 10 years of dialysis 6 days a week. And in kidney dialysis, we spend $24 billion a year just to treat high blood pressure and kidney failure. Okay, so with high blood pressure, 131 billion, kidney dialysis, 24 billion, that's 155 billion dollars we're spending for those kind of things. And of course, we have the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, which goes along with the 90. Okay, it's one of the secret sauces we have, the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 of those twice a day per 100 pounds of body weight. Blood pressure will come down. Don't cold turkey off your medication, but as the blood pressure begins to come down, you slowly reduce the medication based on the numbers. And I get people again off of dialysis very quickly with the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets added to the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. When you have life-threatening things like that, you want to go with the bigger hammer. You know, finances are a serious problem. You can start with the Healthy Start Pack, which has 90 essential nutrients in it, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 fatty acids. But if finances are not as important as you living another 50 years, I'd go with the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, which has 215 nutrients in it. Okay. And then whatever secret sauces you need based on the issues here. But heart disease, easy to get rid of. Blocked arteries are easy to get rid of. It has nothing to do with cholesterol. It has to do with fried foods and oils and all that kind of stuff, oxidizing the walls of the arteries. Kidney dialysis, very easy to deal with. And so all these things, these are published articles, that's what I say. And you can actually get one of our education brochures, and it lists all of my published scientific articles.
That's on your website, Dr. Wallach.
Oh, I'm sorry, the website.
Do you want that? If you want that on your educational brochure, I will make it happen.
No.
But you can go to the website and find it, folks.
Yeah, www.drjwallach.com, www.drjwallach.com. It has my 100 papers, actually more than that now that I've published. And then, of course, it's 22 books now. It's going to be very quickly 23 and 24 and 25 books. We've got a whole bunch of them in the pipeline coming. And so this is a constant flow of information because, you know, we can't speak to enough people. So that's why we have these tools to get out there, so you can give them as gifts. So you can put them in libraries, you can put them in bookstores and so forth. Let's get that information out there.
Absolutely. And Dr. Wallach, I just got a message from Marilyn, and she says it's so interesting to hear Dr. Wallach's history of his past work that he has done. Really, really good to hear it. So thank you, Marilyn, for sharing that information and just reaching out and letting us know that, hey, I don't even know where Marilyn is, that she's listening to the program, Dr. Wallach, but she's on listening right now. And I want to just do a shout out to her because she's been very consistent in providing such fabulous feedback. And we love hearing the feedback. You know, most programs, you only hear if something's wrong. But we have so many people like Marilyn who is sending in positive feedback and just loving what we are doing here and providing this resource, Dr. Wallach, for so many. Let's go to a hand that is up, Dr. Wallach. And Jill, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, hello there. Can you hear me?
How can we help you?
Loud, very
Okay,
loud.
I'm sorry, nothing I can do about that. I'm working. I have two quick questions for you. They're both eye issues. I'm wondering what we can do nutritionally for someone who complains about constant dark circles under their eyes, and a different person that says her eyes are always swollen, that she always has bags under her eyes. So I'm sure there's a nutritional deficiency.
Okay. Yeah, well, basically, when you have things going on with your eyes, you want to make sure you find out if you have osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the optic nerve, the optic artery, and the optic vein. That causes 37 different diseases, including swollen eyes and itchy eyes and dry eyes and all this kind of stuff. Macular degeneration, all those things are caused by osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the optic nerve, the optic artery, and the optic vein. Then also, when it comes to, let's see here, what was the second one? Oh, swollen eyes. Yeah, it could also be osteoporosis of the skull.
And Doc, if I may interrupt, because I know this is going to be addressed in what you give, is we have another question out on YouTube wanting to know what we can do to improve vision. So if you could incorporate that as well, I think there's a lot of overlap.
Yep. Okay, so get rid of the bad foods. Eyes are very sensitive, so you need to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no ham, bacon, bologna, salami, hot dogs, pepperoni, all that kind of stuff with chemicals in them. No oils, no salad dressing, no cooking oils. I like to use lemon wedges on my salads, and if the salad requires a creamy dressing, I use yogurt, okay, as opposed to olive oil or something like that. And then no gluten, no wheat, no brown rye oats. There are no such things as safe oats. The gluten in oats is called gliadin, but it's still gluten. No buckwheat. There's no gluten in buckwheat, but buckwheat has Fago, F-A-G-O pyrines, which are worse than gluten. Okay, so you got to stay away from buckwheat also. No sugar, no carbonated drinks. That includes the diet drinks. Also includes carbonated water because it neutralizes stomach acid, so you cannot absorb minerals and digest food. And then, let's see here. I do want you to take the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, 1 per 100 pounds of body weight. If you weigh 150 pounds, they go for 2, and take a full dose twice a day. If you weigh 110 pounds, 120 pounds, go for 1 Healthy Brain and Heart Pack and take a half of those twice a day. I would also take the ultimate, let's see here, Daily Classics to get the blood flow into the eyes. Okay. Okay. The Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, that'll help with blood pressure and blood flow. Okay. And then also I like the Occutive. That's one of my secret sauces for eyes is the Occutive. 3 of those twice a day per 100 pounds of body weight. There'll be 2 bottles a month because they're small bottles. Okay, Occutive. And then also Vision FX. Wouldn't hurt to throw in the Synaptive. So all the brain cells, including the brain cells and the optic nerve, can talk to each other. Synaptives, take 2 or 3 of those twice a day, every 2 bottles a month. And then, in a couple of weeks, go to your eye doctor and see if your prescription has changed, see what's going on. Call us every couple of weeks and we'll walk you through this because, we have these things going on here, and it's one of those things where there's blessings all over the place for the eyes. Okay. So back to you, Becca.
Thank you, Dr.
All right, thank you, Jill. So Dr. Wallach, let's go ahead and move right over to the next hand that is up. And we have Nancy. Nancy, go ahead and unmute. If you'd like to come on camera, please turn your video on.
I'd like to stay off camera because I look so bad. But anyway, I really appreciate your taking time to talk to me because you told me to call back in 2 weeks. And I've been on the diet for a little over a month. And I've been on the program, the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack and the FX Osteo. That I've been on it for 2 weeks. I have decreased my pain tremendously in my head. I had terrible pain at the base of my skull, and I had big boils all over the back of my neck. I only have one boil, and it's very reduced in size now. I can sleep at night, which is very wonderful because I have less pain. So I'm very appreciative of that. I did want to report that. I'm still having a little bit of problem with constipation. However, I don't have pain with it now. Is there anything you could recommend that I need to add to help that?
Okay, well, the constipation, you want to make sure you're staying away from the bad foods, including gluten.
I
wheat bran-
do. Totally.
Okay,
All of them.
and buckwheat, yep, okay, good. And then, let's see here. Rebecca, what would you recommend for somebody with constipation?
Well, we definitely want to make sure that she's on the ultimate enzymes, Dr. Wallach. And if she's on the ultimate enzymes, we can also add in the nightly essence.
I'm not
and
on either one of them.
So 2 at bedtime with the nightly essence is fantastic. But the ultimate enzymes, Dr. Wallach, they help with breaking down the fats, the carbohydrates, the proteins. Plus it has that ox bile that when you have a gallbladder that's not working properly because it's sluggish or not there at all because somebody decided that it wasn't needed, which was wrong, the ultimate enzymes is amazing at helping with digestion. So I take it, and I know Dr. Wallach, you take it,
Yes.
and everything's running normal or
Okay, thank you. One other
new
thing,
a new
I
normal.
had-
'Cause constipation can
had-
be normal.
I had gone blind in my left eye before I started this program, and I had gone deaf in my left ear. It was just a 2-day thing, which is crazy. But when I started seeing again, I was just seeing just shapes. I wasn't really seeing any detail. I have begun to see a little bit of detail, not much, with my left eye, and I'm sure hoping to improve that. Is there anything else I should add for my vision other than those 2 things she mentioned, which I will add next time?
Yeah, well, again, don't forget the Vision FX and the Occutive.
Okay,
And then it wouldn't hurt for circulation into the eyes to throw in the Ultimate Daily Classic Tablets, 3 words, Ultimate Daily Classic Tablets. Go ahead and
Okay.
take those twice a day, and that'll get circulation going into the eyes and the skull and the brain and all that kind of stuff, okay?
okay. Thank you very much for all your help. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you for reporting back. Call us every couple of weeks because you're going to have, you already have a great story, so let's keep the great story going, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yes, that's wonderful. Just a few months or a few weeks
Yeah,
rather.
just a few weeks,
Yeah,
yeah.
just 2 weeks on the product. I've been on the diet for over a month though, because I couldn't afford to go on it just right away. So I went on the diet immediately. And I did start seeing improvement in a lot of things even then. But then when I added the vitamins, then the pain started ceasing, which, oh, I'm so grateful for. So thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you for the report.
Mhm.
Thank you, Nancy. All right, Dr. Wallach, I love those stories. I mean, it happened really fast for me, Doc. And I can't say that that's normal, but when I continue to hear people who are feeling results, even before you hit the give us 90 days, that's just so encouraging. And with that encouragement, we want to make sure that you have a way to get the information that you need that's going to best fit your situation. If you're not able to come on live with us and ask Dr. Wallach questions personally, and well, get back with the person that shared this program with you. If there is nobody to thank, on dailywithdoc.com, we do have a contact us. If you subscribe to our newsletter, there's a place where you can write in your questions. I have a team that is going through and helping me answer those questions. So if you've submitted a question and you don't have a response yet, it is coming, I promise you. Many of them we ask on the program here so that others can benefit from your question as well. If you would like to speak to a certified holistic health coach that has been taught in Dr. Wallach's method, and you have not spoken to anybody before, I do have a team standing by at 855-949-3377. That's 855-949-3377. And it's actually option number 1. So when you get there, you can hit option number 1. Dr. Wallach, let's go to the next hand that is up, an iPhone. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Welcome to Daily with Doc. How may we help you today, sir? Can you unmute? I see you're on an iPhone. So in the middle of your screen, you should see a blue button that allows you to unmute. Nope. Okay, while he's trying to come unmuted, Dr. Wallach, I have a question over here. Are there, okay, so benefits of honey, Dr. Wallach? We have several people asking, are there benefits to honey? Is there benefits over eating local honey? I know we want to eliminate sugars or limit them greatly. Honey being something that God created and the land filled with, flowing with milk and honey. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, again, honey is a extract of pollen that bees make, okay? And it's one of those things where it does have some enhancement to the immune system, to your bone marrow, to the brain, when it comes to energy, function, that kind of stuff. But the amount of minerals in it is very low, and it's going to be highly variable depending on, where the bees and the hives were, because nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. So you can't talk about minerals in honey. It's kind of a pleasant thing. It's what they say. It's a way of making food happy. Eat it, it tastes good. And food should taste good. And so honey is one of those things where it's just pleasant, it's natural. There's no foreign chemicals in it unless, the honey is taken from plants near factories in modern times and so forth. But in the Bible days, it was quite a thing for energy and so forth. And of course, you didn't need a refrigerator for it to be kept for long periods of time. So it was one of those things where you didn't have to have a refrigerator back long before there was electricity and ice boxes and all that kind of stuff, because the concentrated sugar, bugs wouldn't grow in it very easily. Okay. And so it's one of those things where it just made food pleasant. And it was, to me, honey was preferential to home brew.
All right, thank you so much. And that actually leads right into another question. They keep bouncing around here on me. So we have somebody out on YouTube, and they have a coworker, Dr. Wallach, that is gluten-free, but he's experiencing allergic reactions to grass and pollen as he has rashes. So what can an individual do, Dr. Wallach, if they are experiencing allergic reactions, they're already gluten-free, and it's allergies to grass and pollen?
Okay, well, that may be true. It may not be true. Okay, so the first thing they can do is get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the carbonated water got to go. We do have the book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. It's 300 pages of safe recipes and safe cooking methods. Wouldn't hurt to start there. and get that book. Has a good food, bad food list in it. And then they need to get the 90 essential nutrients, okay? And so you cannot guarantee you're going to get the 90 essential nutrients. Even if you spend $200 a meal, you're not going to get the 90 essential nutrients because plants do not make minerals. You do have to supplement with the minerals if you're going to get the minerals in optimal amounts. And so this is one of those things where you really do have to supplement properly. And this is why we came up with the Healthy Start Pack, the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack, all those kind of things. We have the Rebound or Sports Drink with 100 nutrients in it. And it's one of those things where we're providing what humanity needs, because you cannot get it from your food. And there was only small places on earth where you could get everything you needed from your food. And that there was only small places, okay? It's one of those things where everybody cannot get everything they need just by eating food. So you do have to supplement if you want to maximize your health, maximize your longevity, maximize your ability to cognate and function, and so forth. So I think that's the way I have to answer that question.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And the next question that I have here out on YouTube is, why can't I sleep at night? I lay in bed awake. I know there's stress that can play into that, but there's also nutritional deficiencies, Dr. Wallach. So if we're looking at somebody 150 pounds, they have no high blood pressure, no blood sugar issues, but they're having an inability to sleep. What are things that we can do naturally to help support the body function optimally with extra sleep or extra secret sauce to be able to sleep?
Okay. Well, they need to get rid of all the bad foods. Get Dr. Wallach's book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. It's 300 pages of safe recipes and safe cooking methods. And then also, we need to know a few things. Do they get sleepy after a meal? Do they have what's called reactive hypoglycemia? When they eat a meal, does their blood sugar skyrocket? Okay. Even if they're not eating sugar, but they are eating potatoes and bread and all that kind of stuff. And so their blood sugar goes way up and they're just full of energy. Are they drinking coffee before they go to bed? We need to know that. Or are they drinking soft drinks or with caffeine in it? So all these things are important questions. Seems sort of self-evident, but people don't think about those details. But Sleepies is a great way to do it. Add it to the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. And also, it wouldn't hurt to take 3 eggs twice a day, 3 eggs twice a day, 3 at breakfast, 3 dinner time, soft yolk, soft boiled, soft poached, soft sauce, scrambled butter. And then at noontime, have, if you weigh 150 pounds, I'd go ahead with 2 of the little I-26 either chewables, which taste like vanilla. Those are the ones that I use at noontime. But also you can get the capsules, you get the powder. Okay. And so I'd start there. Oh, it wouldn't hurt also to throw in the synaptives so the brain cells can talk to each other and relax and so forth. There may not be enough communication in the brain to let the brain sleep. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that play into not being able to sleep. And folks, if you're already on the 90 essential nutrients, you want to make sure that you are taking them earlier in the day if you do have your sleep disrupted, because with those vitamins, they're supporting the energy within the body. And if you have just had a great big old dose, and some of us, it doesn't matter, our bodies are continually taking in the nutrients and we're used to it. But if you're just getting started, then it may give you that extra boost of energy that's just not wanting to stop when it's time for you to stop and rest. Dr. Wallach, I know we're running short on time here. I just want to close with this. So out on YouTube, we've got another testimonial, Doc. It says,
Okay.
my heartbeat was 48 beats per minute. I've lost 42 pounds in 58 days. I'm doing the keto, taking the Brain and Heart Pack, plus Ultimate Daily Classic, and the Ultimate Enzymes, because they were experiencing constipation, and they are now down to 181 pounds, 5'11" 9 male. The weight loss is not just for females. It's not just for males. Folks, if we are mineral deficient, our body is going to hold on to anything and everything that it can get because it's in that starvation mode. You give the body what it needs. It gets out of that starvation mode. And yes, you can quickly drop that extra weight that the body's been holding on to because it's using that as energy, especially if you've got cravings for sugar. It's then using that sugar for energy instead of, and then that extra stuff that is not used up gets turned into fat. You go keto, you take that sugar away, it then starts using the fat as energy. You lose weight because the nutrients are going in as well. And it's just a win-win situation, Doc.
Well
So-
said. Well said.
Well, I just thank you, Dr. Wallach, for joining us here again on Daily with Doc. We're going to go ahead and let you go to your next program. Thank you again for joining us here on Daily with Doc.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, folks, if I could just get my co-hosts on with me. My name is Becca Dukes, and as a leader within longevity and also as the Student Services Director of the Institute of Holistic Health, we just invite you to flood your mind with information that you can then use as you are a sponge and taking in this information. You can squeeze, drip, dribble, sprinkle information to others. Whenever you see somebody hurting, whenever you hear about somebody hurting, you've heard this message. And our hope is that you will take this message to help others. As you heard Nancy, just a few weeks, her pain is greatly diminished. There's so much that your body can do on its own without the chemical interactions of a pharmaceutical that is then shutting down the immune response, shutting down the nerve response, because those are warning signals. If you've heard Dr. Wallach speak at all, many times he talks about those red warning lights, like on the dashboard. Pain is one of those red warning lights, folks. Constipation is a red warning light. There is something going on inside the body that needs to be addressed. And we address those things with solutions like what Longevity has put together in their formulas. We have a team of certified holistic health coaches that are here to help you if you have never spoken to anybody about Longevity or Dr. Wallach before. Go to our website, dailywithdoc.com. Use that contact us. If you would like to speak with somebody and go over what you have going on, our people are trained and have a health evaluation system that you can use that then helps them match up the products that are going to be the best fit for you. Call our number 855-949-3377. Again, 855-949-3377. But most importantly, if you have spoken to somebody before, get back with them. They took the time because they cared enough to make sure that you're getting the information you need as well. So join us Monday through Friday from 12 o'clock p.m. Pacific time to 12:50 p.m. plus or minus Pacific time here on dailywithdoc.zoom.com. You can find the replays of our programming on YouTube, on Rumble, on Facebook, and also on our website, dailywithdoc.com. Until next time, my name is Becca Dukes. Bye for now. Yes, I love that, Phyllis. You're just right.